show, baby.
Hello, Nasty. Hello there.
Hello.
Welcome to the shit show.
Say hello. Hello, friend.
Well, hello, little girl.
Hello, my treacherous friends.
Hello, operator.
The beginning of everything.
Welcome back, my friends.
It's showtime.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Brink of Sanity, episode 355, part of the Big Heads podcast network at bigheadsmedia.com.
Oh,
Hey.
we were part of a network finally?
We are part of a network finally.
Nailed it!
Only took
Hey,
300.
you
Big
slipped in
time.
You slipped in a new one in a theme song. I noticed.
There you
Yeah.
go.
I was just gonna say until I heard the big heads. The other big news, Jay, you're shaking the earth here. What's
There's
going on,
just
Jay?
bombs being dropped all over the beginning of this podcast.
What was the deal with the new song?
I just felt like when I hear a song that kind of fits, I'm going to add it. So the Hello song is going to be like a work in progress.
Okay, so a work in progress. So we're gonna do nothing to the Hello song for about 12 years. I'm gonna add one new song and then 12 more years.
Yeah, maybe it'll be every few episodes now. You never know.
Ooh, tune in. What was the new song?
That was an MGMT song.
Which song?
Of course it was.
You guys don't know. You guys
are
know
you a
MGMT,
big fan of-
right?
Are you a big fan of MGMT?
No, I like two songs from their first album a lot, and that's about it.
I mean, they were okay. I don't know what the hype about them. And I also just think, their name is Management, right? So can we just call them Management?
Yeah, I think.
Like, I have to say all the letters because you want to be, like, cool about it? Ooh, we're MGMT, you mean Management? No, MGMT, use all the goddamn letters. Respect us. What song was it?
That was from, I believe it's called "She Works Out Too Much," which is on their newest album.
Can you play that one song? Or they clip me that one clip?
Let me see if this is even the song.
Are you ready to work out?
Don't take it the wrong way. I could never keep up.
Sounds like
Sick
a
of looking yourself.
It really does.
Yeah, I mean, at some
Um,
point he says, "Welcome
did
to
you-
the shit show."
Did you discover that while watching a gangbang flick?
No, I just
was that at your fetish party?
I didn't like their last two
12
albums.
12 Asian women, 12 white men. Do this.
No, I didn't like the last couple albums, and I saw they came out with a new one, and it got good reviews, and then it wasn't
Did
good
it?
at all.
Did it get good reviews on J Love's Music?
It wouldn't have if I reviewed that one.
Okay.
I think I deleted like
What?
7 out of the 10 songs right off the bat.
Right. What do you think of Jay's new? I think we should have veto power. So do you think we should allow Jay to keep this edit? Do you like the new song in there, or should Jay have to fix it?
Well, you want me to say yes so Jay does more work. I know that.
I'm just like his employer.
I mean, let Jay have his 2 seconds of happiness in the theme song.
I kept both versions in case it didn't go over well.
Okay.
So it's
I
actually
mean,
no more
it's
work.
just something for us to make fun of Jay of every time we hear it because it's so terrible. So, I mean,
It would be anything related to management that we can make fun of Jay for is good. So that's fine. Management at work makes fun of ruins his life. Management
It's-
now on the show
it's
ruins
really
his life.
it's a subtle thing because Jay wants to be management. That's why that's why he put that in there. It's like a subtle.
Was it an unconscious thing, Jay? You were like, you put it in there because you want to like move forward with your career. So you're like, if I think like management, I'll become management.
I was thinking
or
more
listen to
along the
the band.
lines that it says "Welcome to the shit show," and that's what happens anytime I try and have any sort of structure to this podcast.
Was Welcome to the Shit Show the theme for the debate? Oh, no politics.
No problem.
We said before the show we're going to try to limit politics. I just had it. You said Welcome to the Shit Show, which seemed like the theme
So,
of the
so Mark
the
went an
debates.
entire 4 minutes without bringing it up.
I think we were just gonna not do depressing politics.
That's the only kind there are.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I mean, there's some broad stuff you could talk about.
I got a political issue that I want you guys to talk. Can we focus on this one? It's a little depressing, but can we talk about it?
This is where we're just immediately going to go into it when we spent all week saying we're not going to.
Okay, well, it is depressing though.
This
Have
is
you
why
guys
I
heard
added
about?
Welcome to the shit show.
Let me just ask you. It's a shit show. Let me ask you guys. Have you heard about what the goddamn liberal government has done to The Rock.
Yeah, they brainwashed
Person,
him.
The Rock, or the
The Rock, the movie star, the professional wrestler. He has been executed by a tribunal, and he's been replaced by a clone, and that clone now supports Biden for president because that's what they do on the left. They kill people and replace them with clones. This is a real theory by the QAnon people. This conspiracy really exists. They think there's a lot of people that have been murdered, celebrities, and replaced by clones. This is real. At least a real conspiracy theory by people who are in your community in America.
If I can comment on that, if I could just make one comment on that before we move on.
You may proceed.
Of every single person on the planet who's currently alive, the one person that conspiracy theory actually fits is Trump.
That he's a clone?
Yeah, like that somebody replaced him with this moron that's there now. Like that like when they always talk about like Trump projects, like that conspiracy theory seems like a Trump projection. Like I could see him saying that, knowing that he's like you know, a fake.
Yeah. QAnon is so goddamn crazy. Apparently, did you guys catch that a couple months back, Oprah had to deny that she was arrested for human trafficking?
Awesome.
Well, they think John F. Kennedy Jr. is still alive.
But the stuff that's going on, at least that stuff is like a while ago. This is like insane. So also, Alex, not to beat you to an InfoWars thing, Jay.
Wow.
But apparently Alex Jones said that RGBG, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, has been dead for months. And the Democrats have been waiting to spring her death in October or end of September as a near election surprise, but she's been dead for months.
Oh, he's been saying that
that's
since
probably true.
He's been saying that since January or February.
Yeah.
He's been saying there's no recent pictures. She died. They're going to wait till November to announce it after the election.
I mean, guessing that she'd be dead by November is not like a tough guess here, but
No, but it was just funny. Like his theory was that they were going to hide it for 9 months, but then they forgot their own plan and then revealed it a month early.
Yeah.
Right. Well, it's like Alex Jones always like his big thing, his biggest claim to fame. He always talks about is how he predicted 9/11, except he predicted 300 other conspiracies around the exact same time. He's the broken clock, nailed one, and he's like, see, I knew 9/11 was coming.
Yeah, exactly.
But do you think why? So why do they have to replace The Rock? And does that mean The Rock's going to make worse movies because he's dead and it's just a clone?
Maybe
No.
there's clones so that he can make more movies. Maybe that was the original plan.
Maybe that's how he makes 20 movies.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think it was humanly possible to make as many as he does.
You know those movies where like they have someone's twin and they have the scenes together. It's like it's obviously the same actor, just like they've filmed it twice, and you're like, wow, how do we do? How do you guys do? What kind of camera tricks? Oh, we killed the original person and just used two clones. So I thought that was a tough. I'm sorry to go bring our show down with that kind of a horrible political topic. But I wanted to bring it up because I think it's an important thing America needs to deal with. The Rock is dead.
That's good. I have a lighter story.
Okay.
So in Ireland, they did a study on Subway sandwiches, and they deemed that there was so much sugar in the bread that they're not legally allowed to call it bread. It's officially cake.
Especially cake?
Yeah. There's too much sugar, so they can't even call it bread now.
First of all, it's amazing how much like sugar is in things you have I didn't know there'd be a lot of sugar in bread. And as you say it, I'm like, I always found the Subway bread to be kind of tasty. That's why, I guess.
Yeah. So
You know what the best part is?
Mm.
In some parts of our country, that would actually up sales. Oh, they're serving the Subway stuff on cake now.
yeah, exactly. I want to go into Subway now and order a BMT on cake and just to piss them off.
Speaking of the, I don't know if this is really lighter side, but do you know, there's also, I don't know how to introduce this in a funny way, but there's do you know black licorice can kill you?
Good.
I mean,
it tastes like shit.
Yeah, I want to die when I eat it.
Yeah.
Apparently, the guy was 54 years old, had consumed 1 to 2 bags of large black licorice a day for 3 weeks. Just 3 weeks, it killed him. Apparently, there's like poison in black licorice.
Really?
Yeah, it has this. It has like lycir. I can't pronounce it correctly.
So the
Lyceric
fact that
acid.
that's all he ate for 3 weeks, that
No,
means they're dying.
it wasn't that that's all he ate. It's just the fact that he ate though like, that quantity of this acid, which is in black licorice. Which is there's no warning on the package that don't eat too much of this stuff because who the fuck eats black licorice?
Did they leave out the part where he put a gun in his mouth too? Or?
Yeah, I
But
guess.
apparently that's
the
all
makers
he
of it
ate.
are like,
Yet he had a cardiac he had a cardiac arrest. His heart stopped, and that was black licorice. Not only tastes bad, it actually can kill you. Consumed in moderate quantities.
That should be like the new thing now. Like, well, so and so died from COVID. Oh, but he also put a gun in his mouth and blew his head off.
Yeah, yes. But like, if eating like a bag, like a similar quantity of Doritos would kill you, 50 million Americans would be dead last year. Like, it's just amazing that no one up to this point didn't even think that you need a warning because no one on their right mind would consume that much black licorice voluntarily.
Maybe like a fifth of that amount kills you. It's just nobody has eaten more than one bite of it and spit it out.
Yeah,
Black
nobody has
licorice is so
intentionally ever
terrible.
done that. Like, that's like something you'd give the terrorists, like at Guantanamo. Be like, here, eat this, asshole.
Yeah, this is all you're gonna eat until you give us the codes.
Yeah.
Like, what would the warning label like? If you eat this, like it actually tastes good, you're probably gonna die.
It should just be that guy's picture on the package.
I mean, if you smoke cigarettes, a pack of cigarettes, every day for 3 weeks, it's less deadly than black licorice.
I mean, it does taste like poison, so
Yeah.
It's funny how like black licorice is worse than cigarettes for you, really.
I mean, I could see that. I'd probably rather chew on a cigarette.
I mean,
Right.
there's really nothing good could come out of a black candy.
I guess
That's not chocolate. Black candy that's not chocolate.
Well, chocolate's brown.
I mean,
yeah.
what's worse for you, black licorice or COVID? Maybe they're going to find out the people who are dying from COVID are also eating black licorice.
Possibly.
Maybe black licorice has black mold in it.
Could be. Is your black mold growing black licorice in your apartment, Jay?
Maybe it's just black licorice all along.
Black licorice matters.
I wouldn't be surprised if that stuff reproduces on its own.
You know what? Another just weird thing about 2020 because there's so many weird things about 2020. You know what's up a lot this year? I'm not gonna have you guys guess. 2000. I'm sorry. UFO sightings. UFO sightings are way up this year.
Well, I mean, everyone got a lot crazier and a lot more bored.
I mean, and that's obviously the reason, but like, it's just hilarious. Like, of course you're seeing UFOs. Why not? Whatever.
I mean, you lock a bunch of people in their house for 6 months. Yeah, they're going to start seeing UFOs.
I think it's mostly hope to like get out of here. Like,
Yeah.
please, come here, land right here and take me. I'll take the anal probe. Just get me off this planet.
Yeah, everyone's giving the hitchhiker's thumb.
Yeah. Come take me. Take my wife, please.
Before we move to our top five, we have a good top five. We have other things to discuss. There was also have you guys noticed that things are like the most used like products in your house now could be Wi-Fi or Bluetooth that make no sense to me.
Yeah,
Like there's like
refrigerator.
there's like a Wi-Fi vacuum cleaner, Wi-Fi refrigerator, Wi-Fi or like a coffee maker.
Mm-hmm.
So they did like these. I guess this hacker basically did a demonstration where basically he hacked someone's coffee maker, or showed the ability to hack someone's coffee maker and made it like a ransomware thing, where the coffee maker just spews water and has like a devilish thing on, and you'd have to. It was all for an experiment, but like basically you'd have to give him Bitcoin to get your coffee maker back. I found that kind of funny. That's
funny.
where we're going because everyone's like they're like making everything like smart houses where everything in your house is going to be like on Wi-Fi, and then a hacker is going to be like, you don't get your house back until you pay me.
Yeah, except that cryptocurrency is not worth anything, so it's kind of a pointless. Pointless blackmail.
They'd be like, I've got all this Ethereum. Ethereum is kind of worthless. Fuck. I'm going to hold your house again. The house is worth a lot more than the Ethereum. God damn it. They also apparently Amazon has created. You guys heard of the Ring doorbell?
Yeah.
So they it's part of it was on actually there's a product on Shark Tank.
Yeah, I watched that.
And then it got bought by Amazon. It's basically you ring the doorbell as a camera. they can communicate you through the camera, and the camera has become part of like an overall security system for your house, right?
Pretty much like every house on my street has one.
Yeah. Well, do you want to like this? Should Amazon have a camera in your house?
I mean, if it's pointed outside, that's okay.
Okay. Well, what about a drone in your house that just flies around your house and monitors your house for safety? Because Amazon has come out with that as well.
Yeah, now they're not even hiding the spyware.
They have literally you have a drone that flies around your house looking for. And also I don't know what house they're living in. Like I don't need I don't have a mansion where I need a drone like guarding the perimeter.
I actually got one of those Bitcoin email things, and
What's that?
it said that they hacked my account and they provided a password.
Oh yeah, I got that one of those too.
And my heart skipped a beat because it was a password I used like 10 years ago. I forgot.
Yeah.
Like, I changed it. It was an old one.
Yeah.
And it said like, we hacked your webcam and we have videos of you watching porn and we're going to
Yeah, I got that same one.
yeah. They're like,
Oh,
we're gonna
really?
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like we're going to send it to
what's
everybody in your
it say,
contact
basically?
list unless you give us Bitcoin. And
Yeah.
Oh,
So we
Chase,
hacked we hacked your computer and we videotaped you watching on adult sites, and we're gonna send the video to everybody in your contacts if you don't give us this. And to prove I'm not kidding, here's your password. And it was a password that I used to use.
yeah.
wow. Did you preemptively just send us all a video of you whacking off? Like, hey, they're gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna show you all what.
I almost was gonna like message like a few people and just be like, if you get something from me, I got hacked. It's just spam. Delete it. But then I did a Google search on it, and it said that it's just a phishing scam or whatever like that. But it got me thinking, because the password, it was a password that I used to use.
Mm-hmm.
So I went through as soon as I got it, like I went through my computer, and because I save all my passwords like on my Chrome or my Firefox.
Yeah.
So I just typed in like that password to see like what websites came up, and luckily it was like all like sites that like I probably haven't gone on in like 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I have so many, and the other thing too is that like I have so many email addresses that so I had to like, and since I got the message on my phone, I had to like go through all my email accounts to see which email address it got sent to. So like I narrowed it down to like the email address and then the password, and I kind of figured out it was like 5 or 6 sites, and they were all just like useless sites that I haven't been on in like 10 years. So
That would actually, I feel like that would. I'm glad you guys told me about this, because I'd be freaked out also. I don't know.
So now when I jerk off the porn, I block the camera on my iPad or my computer.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I was
Cool.
freaked out, but I sat there for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, I'd rather just have everybody see the video than give up like my life savings. So I'm just going to deal with the consequences. But I'm glad I Googled the question, because then that exact like email came up, and I was like, oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, so big reveal. I sent you guys the email.
You could have just asked me for my Ethereum.
Yeah, that's because they do it to businesses, like legitimately, like they'll hack their computer and like you cannot get your stuff back unless you pay them.
They did it. One of the school systems, like in one of the towns like around me, right at the beginning of, I think it was the beginning of last school year, got hacked and held up for ransom.
I think the state of Maryland got hacked and like got held up last year. Yeah, that's it. I feel like though going after businesses makes a lot more sense. I mean, like, okay, Jay, we're gonna take all your. Do you know if you know anything about me, you might not want. Here are my debts. You can have my debts.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing was like, I want like, 1 Bitcoin or something. I'm like, well, my life savings isn't worth 1 Bitcoin, so
Yeah. Good luck. You have a better chance of like a business like caving into that, as opposed to like some like brand, like not us because we have some, but like some regular, like if like my girlfriend got hacked, she'd be like, what the hell's a Bitcoin? Like how do I even get that?
Well, also,
to
if you do it
that?
at a business, you have a lot better chance of somebody there falling for it. They have test phishing emails that they send everybody.
Oh yeah,
works there.
there's a woman at my work. She clicks on every link that comes in, and we've gotten all kinds of shit. We got phishing stuff and all that from her, so they took her email away.
I thought about this. So obviously, like they do those tests, and you don't want to get caught like doing it. Obviously, you don't want to screw up, and it's really bad for a company. But if say you hate your job and you're Jay, and Jay's like, I found a new job, and I want to screw this job as much as I can before I leave. Wouldn't you just go, like, aren't there going to be employees like that who, like, go through their spam file and just click on everything they can find?
Well, this one was made by the company, and it said something, I think, along the lines of, you have a package or something, and there was a link. And then you had to click on the link and make an account. And then after you made an account, it asked for personal information.
Yeah.
So they sent the results. 33% of the entire company, and this is a company of thousands, clicked on the link. I think like 20% registered an account, and 12% gave like all the personal information.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, we like I said, we have one woman that said that they took her email away. I've gotten a few, like at work, I've gotten a few emails from like here's the deposition transcripts you ordered, and it looks like it's from a law firm, and like I googled the law firm and it was a real firm, and I'm like, that's weird, and like I almost clicked on it. But then, like, if you scroll over, like, the link or, like, the email address, and it, like, shows you, the reply to, and it was, like, instead of, like, firm, like, FIRM, it was, like, FI, like, it was, like, 2 letters to look like an M, and I was like, ooh, that's sneaky. Like, if somebody wasn't paying attention, they totally would have clicked on that.
Yeah,
like,
they do that in mine, too. It's, like, RN instead of M.
Yeah, RN instead, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, have you heard about in real estate? There's a big scam where, like right before there's like a closing on some like commercial property or just some big closing, they'll step in, send an email that looks like it comes from the law firm asking for your bank information or the routing information.
Yeah.
And then basically, or they'll basically give you the whatever the information you need for like sending the money. They'll give you their information instead, and you've now sent the money you think for the closing on the sale to this basically fake, basically to the bad guys.
Yeah. I was when my condo was on the market, I would like weekly I would get an email from my realtor's agency saying like, do not click on anything that's not, you're not expecting, and if you have any questions, call your realtor, blah blah. And I was like, oh yeah, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, I guess the wire instructions. So people would basically
yeah.
they think they're wiring it to the law firm. Instead, they're basically wiring, or they think they're wiring it to the other side because they think it's their law firm, and they're wiring it to like
Paul Manafort.
To Donald Trump, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, I was wondering who falls for these until I realized like a third of the people I work with do. Yeah. Like every morning, I get a fake Netflix, Amazon, and PayPal email, and I'm like, who falls for this? But apparently, like a lot of people do.
Oh yeah, I get like my Wells Fargo account is going to be closed. Well, I don't have a Wells Fargo account.
Yeah.
Or like I'll get like a PayPal thing from like one of my other email addresses that's not attached to,
Oh, I'll get one. My auto insurance is about to expire. I don't even have a car.
I have a neighbor who's in the IT business, and he was saying like this whole thing, like in Ukraine or Russia where they do this is just like a regular business. Like your 9-to-5 job is going online trying to like hold companies in America and other places for ransom. So like, oh, good job, Bob. You got the state of Maryland? Yeah, nailed it. And some are like the more reputable ransomware companies where they're like you pay it and they'll let your information go, and some of the less reputable ransomware companies and they'll screw you still, I guess.
Right, or it'd be like, thanks, now give us more.
That's a great bit about getting hacked and stuff like that. And he's like, yeah, they're getting a lot more sneaky with their messages. And, it's like, here's those stamps that you ordered. And he's like, wait, I was drinking last night. Did I order stamps? Because that's something I might have done. And then you click on it, and then you're screwed.
Yeah. Or like, your package has arrived. Like, sometimes that actually syncs up with when your package arrives. So, like,
yeah.
I mean, they sent enough of these out. Yeah, they probably do nail some people.
Top
so
5?
Before we go to our top 5, we have a top 5. Anything else you guys? I was just gonna read you real quickly my favorite headline from the week. I think it was like 2 weeks ago, but this is from the New York Post. Robert Kraft, remember the owner of the
I saw this
the headline: Robert Kraft likely to get off in Florida massage parlor case. I really appreciate the New York Post sometimes. They're just they're funny.
They love puns.
That's a good one.
Okay, what do you guys want to talk about?
I was just gonna say, did you guys see that there's a new Borat movie coming out?
Yes.
Yes. On it's going to Amazon, right?
Yeah. Did you see the trailer? It came out today.
Yeah, it looked okay.
It looked all right. The Mike Pence stuff looked pretty funny at the end, but
Oh, is Mike Pence in there?
yeah.
He
I
made like a
hope they
really
don't make it
realistic.
look like he's gay, because
Well, no, he made a
they could.
really realistic looking Trump's outfit, and he tried to crash like a Pence speech or something.
Oh,
Okay. Bri, you had
Some of it looked pretty good. A lot of it was just kind of like, all right, yeah, same old, like.
Well, they may also not want to use the good stuff for the commercial.
Yeah, and it looks like he's also doing like some other characters in there too.
I guarantee there's like 3 funny parts in the whole movie.
I came across an ad for that on Twitter.
I think it'll be pretty funny. Just in general. I mean, he's just funny. Like some of the things he says, like
So the first Borat movie,
you would agree the first. He has a woman on top of the car. That's pretty funny.
Yeah. I thought the first Borat movie was hilarious. Yeah. You guys think it was funny? So I clicked on this link on Twitter, and all the comments are like, "Oh my god, this is garbage. The first movie was terrible. I can't believe they're making another one." If you don't fucking like it, like, why did everyone have to comment on everything?
Because everyone has to complain about everything.
Yeah.
I mean, like, if you don't, it's fine. It's not for you. But like, really, you have to like, whatever. Okay.
Bri, you had an intro. You wanted to?
Yes.
Okay.
You want to explain what we should explain what the top 5 is?
Let's hear the intro? Well, we'll get to it. It should organically come from this conversation. But have either of you guys watched Action Park yet? Class Action Park yet?
Not yet.
I not yet. But explain to people who don't know, because some listeners may be in Australia.
Jay, no, you haven't.
No, but I'm aware of.
Okay. So,
yeah, I'm aware of it.
So, Class Action Park is this documentary that is on HBO Max, and it's about this water park called Action Park that was in New Jersey that opened like 1978 or something like that, and it lasted through like the 90s, and it was just basically like an insane place to go. It was like crazy rides, very reckless, very unsafe, very fun place. I went there 3 or 4 times, I think, when I was a kid. Mark, I think you said you went there, right?
Yeah, I went there as a kid at least once. But
yeah,
go on.
And I mean, I remember going there and just being like, "Oh my god, these rides are like insane." But I never really thought of it as being like dangerous or reckless or anything. But anyway, so you don't have to watch the documentary for this part. But so like the first part of the documentary, they hype up the park, they show you all the rides and all the slides and stuff, and you're just like, "Holy shit, that's like." I wish I was there again. It was so, it's crazy, whatever. And then like towards the end, they get a little preachy, and it basically like all the people that are in the movie, like that are interviewing, are talking about how like, the 80s was like, so like just freewheeling and reckless and no regulation, and everybody loved it. But now secretly, like everybody who's like 40 who loved that, like secretly like resents it and wishes they didn't grow up in that time. And I just think that's just a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah, I completely disagree. I thought it was way better back then.
Yeah. And so I wanted to ask, Mark, how old's your son?
My son is 9. My daughter is 6. I assumed you'd ask about the daughter, but maybe you just leave her out. But I want to go on.
Well, I know your son is older.
Yeah.
The older of the two. That's why I asked. 9. That's a little young. Who do you think? All right, let me ask you like this. This isn't a question.
By the way, just to go with like, if you're going to talk about rides, like there's like around here, there's something called Adventureland. It's a little like my son basically it's a little amusement park. My son is scared of roller coasters. He's like a scaredy cat when it comes to like.
Yeah.
He wants like he likes rides that are kind of like fun but not too scary kind of thing.
Yeah.
But go on.
Well, no, I mean, I'm just talking about like how it just really annoyed me how like they were talking about how like, everybody like you secretly, you boast like, oh yeah, I grew up in that time and it was great, but like you secretly resent it and you wish you hadn't grown up. And I just think that's a bunch of bullshit. And
why were they secretly saying they did not? So I'm not understanding. Yeah.
I don't know. They just were like, everything was so crazy in the 80s. You could just do whatever you wanted and go out.
Were they doing a lot of blow? Like what were they doing that like they're resenting now?
I don't know. Just the way. I mean, we all grew up that way. You could just actually like if you were a kid, you could just go outside and come back.
Oh, so like you can go out for the day. You can go out like. Meet up your friends,
the sort of reckless freedom we had as kids.
And now it's like we're in there's a little more helicopter parenting. There's more like scheduling activities.
Yeah,
I see a big difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so all these, all the people who are in the movie who are like 40 now are saying like how, secretly like they resent that living in that period and they, don't think it's as great as everybody wants it to be. But what I was going to ask you, Mark, but I think your son's probably a little too young.
Yeah.
What I was going to ask you was, who do you think has had more like? This is kind of a stupid question. It's
More
not.
fun.
This is more fun. Like
I mean, I
by
grew up with
by
like
9 years old, do you think you had a more fun life, or do you think your son had a more fun life?
I
And
think
that's not as you as a parent. That's like you as a kid versus him as a kid.
yeah, no, I understand that. I'm just gonna go with my kid only because like I feel like I had like I lived in like a very crazy household. Just this, I had my yeah. I think I have just a more my I think my son has a much more normal household than I had growing up. So I feel like that's not like a good. I know what you're saying as far as freedom versus not freedom,
Yeah,
but
kind of the point. Yeah, but
yeah,
nine's
like
probably still a little too young to really live life as a
I
like
would say my son has less. It's also hard to remember exactly. I remember
right.
like a little bit older from there, like be able to go out with our friends and go around. I don't remember like I guess fourth. He's in fourth grade now. I don't remember quite what it was like.
Yeah,
Like it's hard to remember exactly what it was like then, but I feel like you were able to a little bit. So we're
Definitely.
definitely a little more activities are a little more scheduled. Um, so here's what I'd say. Up to this point, generally speaking, activities have been more scheduled, and everyone kind of like schedules all this stuff for their kids. And I think it's a little ridiculous how like it's all about like scheduling activities. When the coronavirus hit, things like all the activities got canceled. My kids end up playing just more with the kids in the neighborhood. I know we shouldn't do that, fine, but anyway, they end up playing more. It ended up being more like the kids just kind of did what they wanted, basically.
yeah.
And in some ways, not in some ways, I like that better. I like the kids just organize their own activities, doing what they want, and not have. I think the scheduled activities are kind of annoying
I also think it's going to backfire.
because we're gonna get coronavirus. Yeah,
No, no,
that
no,
reason.
no, no. I'm talking about like just the constant like parents around and everything being
Yeah,
regulated.
I think every generation is like an overcorrection of the one before. Like I think our parents were like grew up in like the like hide under your desk, like the Russians are gonna bomb us in any day. So they were just like every day they were just probably like, well, we could die tomorrow. So when we have kids, it's like just go out, do whatever you want. Who cares? Like
But
whatever.
like,
And then we went out and did that, and like everything was like, holy shit! Like I just went on this water slide at Action Park where I could have like broken my neck. So now I'm gonna be like super protective of like my kids.
I think it's not even like being super protective. Not. I mean, it results in that way, but I feel like. So I feel like my parents were in many ways just like shitty parents at a lot of things. Just lots of screaming and lots of just like whatever the hell they were doing. And so I react. My reaction to that is I want to be a better parent, even though like I don't know what I'm doing as a parent either. But I want to make my household just like I don't know, just a better place to live than I had growing up. And so like I think a lot of parents, if they grew up with shittier households, they want to overcorrect, and that overcorrection is kind of like in some ways you're overparenting because you're like trying to like make up for what you feel like you missed out as a kid.
Yeah, no, I get that.
when I say
Uh,
backfire, though, I mean like as far as when the kid finally like goes away to college or something. Like my parents were always home, always, always, always. So when I got to college, I went berserk. Like I just lost my mind and just, I think that's going to happen to a lot of kids when they're finally unsupervised.
Well, that's why all these kids that are going to college now are coming down with COVID the first week of school.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. College students are always been assholes. I mean, or just like always been trying to like look at drunk and like if we were in college now, we'd all be at those parties getting COVID probably.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
I'm
we
just
were
saying
talking about
it's-
that at work today. Like two of the guys who went to UConn, we were talking because they're closing like all the dorms at UConn because they keep breaking out COVID, and he was like, they were like, oh yeah, we would have been kicked out the first week because we wouldn't have said, we would have just gone to a party or gone out or whatever.
I
just
mean,
think
it's the
all
whole
these
like you
kids
get
who
the
have-
college. Like, I mean, I guess if you're raised a certain way where you think you value education, like you like this coming to college is your chance to really study. I think a lot of us get to college. We're like, we want the college experience, and that includes going to frat parties or just getting drunk and like hitting on chicks. Like,
Right, but I
and like
think
you're
that's going to be like tenfold for the people who've had like every moment scheduled for 15 straight years.
yeah, it's weird. So like, yeah, the whole scheduling thing I find kind of annoying with scheduling. I want the kids like I remember going to the park and just playing with friends and not having as much scheduled, and I do like that better. I don't know why it's kind of switched so much this way.
Yeah, my schedule was be home by 5:30 for dinner.
Yeah,
That was it.
And then there are some we notice there are some parents that are more like that, and they're like, it's almost like weird. We're like, why the hell don't they look after their kids at all?
Right. Yet we're all still here.
Yeah, we're all still here, and it's yeah. I don't know what the I mean, I have to say I have no idea what I'm doing as a parent. There's no. It's the most as far as things you do in your life. It's one of the most important things you do if you're going to be a parent, and no one gives you any lessons. They're just like, here, your role model is a fucking awful example. Figure it out now.
Well, I mean, most people don't know what they're doing as an adult,
Yeah.
so it makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah,
Let's do our top five.
So let's go to our top five.
But going
Go to our
back to, I do recommend the documentary. It is pretty interesting, and just like the first half hour, just seeing all the rides and all the like Jay, you're just gonna watch that and be like, holy shit! Like I wish I'd gone there.
Yeah.
Do you? They actually they did a. Jay, did you listen to the Dollop when they did this one?
No.
So the Dollop is also a pretty funny podcast. It was really good for a while. Kind of went a little bit downhill. But they had an episode on Action Park that was pretty funny also.
Cool.
Anyway.
So so this kind of organically turned into our top five list.
So the top five, which is basically things that young people will no longer experience that we maybe experienced when we were a kid. And the example I gave to Jay Bride when we talk about the top five is like a young person today would not have they would not go to their mailbox and find a letter from someone. Like you don't get letters anymore. That's just an experience you do not have anymore.
Right.
So you guys want to jump in with yours, and we can. And I guess for what Bry's, a young person, a lot of young people don't know what life is like when you're just given freedom. Basically, you're told to go to the woods and play.
All right. My first one is they're not going to know the experience of going to bed without both of their parents there for an hour-long epic going to bed process.
Did we get like tucked? Did we have like a whole like bedtime routine growing up? I don't think we did.
No, my parents said go to bed, and it was back when there was no DVR or anything, so they were watching a show. They didn't have time to like deal with me because the show would never be on again. So it's like it's bedtime, go to bed.
Yeah.
I think my bedtime routine was, holy shit, are you still up?
No, mine was strict, like go to bed, but it was like I said go to bed, so you go to bed because I'm the parent, and that was it. And then I went to bed.
Yeah.
I think when they were so being the just to speak on this because I'm the only one with kids here. When they're younger, it's a big thing. Everyone has like their bedtime routines with the kids, but now the routine really is like I play a little game with them and then they go to sleep. It's not. So it's not. It's just like, well, I'll spend some quality time with them before they go to bed.
All right. That was more of a joke one.
I think they're all kind of jokey, but
I just wanted to dig in on you.
Let's see.
Jay's like, you're a fucking horrible parent. Go on.
I have a real bunch of stupid ones here. Let's see if any of these make the top five list.
Yeah.
Are we gonna vote on the best top five?
No, I just have like this stupid having a paper route. Kids never gonna have a paper route.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because no one gets the newspaper.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, get the paper. What? My son's gonna deliver the paper to my phone? I don't understand. So my first one was seeing porn when you were a kid. Like you had to either like buy it from the most awkward thing, somehow like steal it or buy it from a store, probably steal it. Or someone like left a porn magazine in like the woods, or like someone you knew had a porn, they stole the porn from their parents. It was an impossible mission. It was weird. It was not that easy to see porn. Mm-hmm. Now, age 12, you get a phone with porn on it for you at all times.
I have a similar one: boobs in movies. Like if a movie's rated R, you knew what you were going to see. Now it's like, oh, they said the F word. This movie's rated R.
Yeah.
Like I watched the rated R movie the other day, and I didn't even know why it was rated R.
Wasn't a big thing in the 80s having like short sex scenes in the movie, like R-rated meant not just boobs, but there would be like some kind of like drawn out sex scene in a lot of those movies.
Absolutely.
And they don't have that anymore.
I watched Lethal Weapon the other day, the very first one, and like the first 5 minutes is like a lady running around topless.
Right. Those scenes just like they're kind of useless to the story, but obviously everyone enjoys them. But they've just been removed from the movies.
And if there's nudity in a movie now, it's a dick.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. basically now young people, their only experience is seeing like the word, like the thing for nudity, and then being like, "Fuck, I'm gonna see a dick."
Yep.
But yeah, it's weird that like at a certain age you have now like there's so much access to porn, it's absurd.
Yeah.
So what's gonna hurt the kids more, the scheduling or the unlimited access to a bizarre world of porn?
Can it be both?
And porn is just like out of control these days too. It's just so like hard to watch.
I would think there'd be like a limited number of like act like it also just seems like there's like a million women that are doing porn right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, I mean, call me old fashioned, but I like my porn with more pubes and less tattoos.
Yeah.
But I mean,
Especially
that's
since
just
the new
me.
trend
Like,
seems to be like an under the boob, like across the chest tattoo. It's really bad.
like all these fucking girls in it. It's just like, ugh.
I mean,
I actually read
like,
this. I read this really interesting article about. I forgot where it was. I don't think it was Deadspin. It was something like Deadspin. But it was about MILF porn, and it was basically how there's this whole genre of porn, MILF porn.
Yeah.
But all the girls that do it are like 23,
Mm-hmm.
but they're supposed to be like 35 or 40.
Well, it's the same with the teen ones. They're all 23 too. Everybody's 23 and
It was just like a weird like play on like how like, oh yeah, here's, and then all these like 35 and 40-year-old women who are trying to do porn are like, what the hell? Where am I supposed to go?
Gilf.
If I can't be the MILF, where am I supposed to be?
Gilf.
Yeah.
What do you gotta age out of the industry pretty fast. Let's just say you're like a hot chick making like what do you think like a typical middle of the road porn star makes?
I can't even imagine they make that much anymore because there's just so many people now.
Right. It's also like if you want to see porn, it's all free. Like you have to like really be into it to pay for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I think you would have to do the live cams because who's gonna buy like a DVD now?
I mean, they don't even make movies; they're just scenes.
Yeah.
So let's just say you're doing, and I think some of the cam girls can make a decent amount of money, but let's say like you're a cam girl, you're doing porn, you're making pretty good money. Let's say you make $100,000 a year, which I feel like that'd be a pretty decent amount in the porn industry. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
I
any
don't think.
industry.
Yeah, so let's say you're making $100,000 a year. You from age 20 to 30. Age 30, you seem to like age out of this stuff, and I guess age 30 you start doing granny porn. I don't know. What's your next job?
Well, then they strip. They go on, they go to the strip clubs around the country. You could get them. They all hook too. You could all get them as escorts. Some of the older ones.
Age 35, 36, you got to be out. Like at some point, they're like, okay, I see this. You said fucked a lot from 20 to 36. What do you mean you like just messed around? No, I did a lot of fucking, but I can multitask. I did multiple dicks, so I can definitely work in this office.
Most of them all OD or kill themselves anyway. So
What do you say?
there's a lot of suicides in porn.
They don't really talk about that epidemic. It didn't really come up at the debates.
No.
Biden hit Trump back like, the number of porn stars that killed themselves under your watch, Trump. It's ridiculous, Trump. Do something about it.
All right, we got to keep this top 5 moving. We're almost out of time.
Okay, go. Jay.
Well, I think we're up to Bri.
Okay, bye.
Oops. Hold on, my phone shut off. I had it on my phone.
I'll jump on Bri.
Sucking at sports and not caring. Basically, like, because everybody, like every kid that plays sports now, like if they suck, then their parents like get them a coach and a class, and they go away to camp and shit like that. And it's like you can't just like play sports just to suck and just for something to do.
I mean, there are a lot of kids that don't like. My kids aren't into sports; they don't really care. But there are a lot of parents that like get their kids like special instruction in certain sports, and I'm like, you both of you guys are like short and Jewish. I don't think your kid's gonna be like a professional football player. You don't have to get them the special instruction for basketball either. It's fine.
One of the attorneys at work is trying to get one of his kids to play tennis, and like he hates it and he sucks at it, and he's like either too tall or too short to play. And like they hired a coach and stuff, and they basically said like he's too tall or too short to play, whatever.
Probably,
and they're like,
too short.
Whatever. And they're just like, well, So he wants to play. We want him to play.
You know what switched also is that everyone, like when I was growing up, you played football, you played tackle football. Now the town sport, everyone basically plays flag football. No one plays tackle.
Yeah, it's no.
So basically, like one of the things a kid will never experience again is playing football with contact.
You know how many people got hurt when we played tackle football? Nobody
lot.
ever.
I don't know. A lot of people get hurt.
Nah, we never had any serious injuries.
I'm pretty sure I might have gotten a concussion playing with friends.
I don't know.
To be honest, I loved playing, but I'm pretty sure I got a concussion. Going to Blockbuster and picking out a movie. Wandering the aisles, trying to pick out what movie you want to watch, not reading 300 reviews about what movie you should watch, or like just going based on the cover and the short description, what movie I'm going to watch. It was like that alone was like a fun experience, going to the rental store or Blockbuster and picking out your movie.
Yeah, looking at the boxes. I had that for movies and video games.
Yeah, I thought that was something you missed out on basically.
That and waiting for the like the people that work there to put the like returns back up. Like if you're waiting for a movie that's out,
you like hover behind the cart as they're
and like they're going around putting them back, and there's like 10 people waiting for like Batman Returns to come in or something.
Yeah, and calling up. Do you have Batman yet? I'd rather go to Blockbuster than look on Rotten Tomatoes.
But for me, also video games, like there was no review sites or anything, so you just looked at the box and then you just prayed it was good because that was basically your weekend. And
also,
if that sucked, that was it.
Also, playing a video game that like you don't get to save and like play for 2 weeks, like you get like 3 lives, and if you lose, you have to start from the beginning.
Yeah.
Also, every video game not being let's go on a mission. Let's go solve something. Let's go on an adventure. How about we just fight? I shoot things and we call it a video game, and that's it.
It's an open world.
It's an open world.
Yeah, no, I like holding to the right.
That video games suck. Jay, what's your next one?
Being exposed to a wide variety of music. Like we had MTV, all the radio stations played a bunch of different stuff. Like now I don't even.
Now you have to search music out.
Yeah,
hey,
now it's just auto-tuned pop music everywhere.
Have you heard of the band Postal Service?
Is this one of those? Is this a real band or not a real band?
I mean, yeah, I know. It sounds like that. But have you? I guess you've not heard.
I think I know that that's a band.
Did you hear of the band Death Cab for Cutie?
Yes.
Okay, so a couple of guys from that were in the band Postal Service. They only put up one album. I asked Jay before the show to check him out and tell me what he thought in the show. So, Jay, did you listen?
I listened to 5 songs. I thought it was okay.
Well, what did you think?
Aren't we in the middle of a bit here?
Yeah.
Well, no, he said he's exposed to different music. So I figured I'll bring up the music I exposed him to.
I thought it was okay.
Okay, fine. I think they have a great that one album. I think is pretty darn good. Not amazing, but good.
But yeah, like
yes.
MTV got me into so many genres of music, like because it was just like after midnight, it was just like anything goes. You could hear techno and followed by heavy metal, followed by hip hop. It was like, it wasn't just pop music all the time.
Right. I guess it's hard to get exposed to different music on MTV since they don't play music.
Yeah.
What is it, like MTV4 now has music?
Yeah, exactly. From
there's like
3 to
one
5.
MTV that just like replays shows from the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they introduced MTV2 for music, and then MTV2 stopped showing music also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it Bryce? Your turn.
Yes. Read a map and ask for directions.
Yeah.
I have to say, of all things that you don't do anymore, I'm so fucking glad you don't have to do that anymore.
I remember like going on a date and she lived far away and I had to sit there for like a half hour, like make a right at the stop sign and then make 3 lefts. But if you pass the Arby's, you've gone too far. And, just like, I had like.
Well, I remember going to visit you in Quincy, Jay, and you lived on whatever street you lived on. There was also whatever like road. It was like street and road. Mm-hmm. And I went to go, Jay's like, he gave me his address and I like put it into like MapQuest and printed out like the instructions. And I ended up at like a restaurant. And I was like, do you live in a restaurant? I called him. I'm like, do you live in a restaurant or like above a restaurant? He's like, no. And I'm like, well, I'm at 372, whatever.
It was such an ordeal trying to figure out how to get places. I always found it so annoying. It's one of those things that I had like a genie to make wishes. And one of my wishes would be never to get lost again. Like the introduction of like Waze and GPS.
I'm gonna say this is one of the first experiences that we've covered that is an improvement now.
Yeah. I also like if you notice when you talk to older people, if you go somewhere and they're like, "What route did you take? How'd you get here?" And I'm always like, "Listen, old man, I followed what the fucking GPS app said. I don't fucking know how I got here. If GPS is not working the way home, I will never get home." Okay.
Exactly.
My next one would be talking to someone for more than 5 minutes without that person trying to find a better conversation in their phone or like looking things up while you're talking to them, because no one can hold a fucking conversation anymore without being completely distracted or trying to talk to someone else that's not even the same country as them right now.
It's really bad.
Holy shit, phones. I mean, I do it myself, but holy shit, these phones have made people complete fucking assholes.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Basically, a young person will never experience dealing with another person who's not a fucking asshole now.
Eye contact. Yeah.
Yeah, eye contact.
Mine is similar.
Yeah.
Say there's a guy or a girl you want to talk to, get a date. You actually had to have the guts to talk to them.
Oh, that was going to be my next one. Physically ask a person out.
Or say you got a friend to ask for you. The very next move is you have to call them or talk to them. So like, now you just have an app and there was one guy who like got a girl to his place by sending nothing but emojis.
Well, on the other hand, you're like kind of a genius.
It is, but like, I don't know.
I don't know. That might be an improvement. You mean I don't have to actually talk to her, but like put all this work in and she'll just come to my place?
I don't know. I have a friend who like he gets laid a lot, but he never gets past like the second or third date because he's socially awkward, and these apps are making it worse by the day.
So, in other words, socially awkward people can get laid a lot now.
Well,
I think that's an improvement,
like
Jay.
once, and then as soon as it gets to like, all right, let's spend actual time together. Like, oh wait, like I don't like you at all.
I mean, I think the previous version of this is that you're socially awkward and you get a hooker. That's pretty much it.
Hmm.
I don't know. I feel like in some way.
I think they're socially awkward because they don't have to talk to anybody.
Probably true. Probably true. Also, society's getting worse.
Yeah.
Brian, what's your next one?
Having to wait to learn information.
I knew you were going to do that one. You've done that one on the show before.
Yeah, I think so.
You wanted to finish it.
What?
I thought you were going to expand about like the idea of like,
hey, it's just that everything is so instantaneous. Like you don't have to wait for like the newspaper to come out. Like if you go to bed like during the middle of a baseball game, you have to wait till the paper comes to find out who won, or you have to wait like if it's snowing, you get up in the morning and you have to watch the TV scroll to see if you're on there, or listen to the radio, or for your school.
Or you're watching a movie with friends and you're like, wasn't this guy in another movie? And then everyone in the room is just thinking about what that movie could be for the rest of the movie they were supposed to be watching.
Yeah.
And nobody could come up with it. And then like 3 days later, you'd think of it.
See, I thought you were going to say like, you start debating. You're like, I think the Lakers won more titles. No, the Celtics won more titles. There's no way for us to figure this out. Oh, well, we'll just argue about it a little bit more and then give up because no way for us to figure it out.
Yeah,
Anyone got one of those Guinness World Book records?
It is kind of weird how we have access to more information to prove our own point, but we argue more even if we're wrong. Like all the arguing we do about stupid things now, like should have been like 30 years ago when there wasn't access to all the information to prove or disprove it.
Yeah, the problem is there's a website for any side. I mean, the Celtics have the most NBA championships. I'm sure you could find a website that says the Lakers have more. I mean,
right? There's more. There's
the world we live in.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had less information, but we just kind of assumed like the government said something. Oh, well, the government's not going to lie to us.
Right. Yeah. Now it's just like you can find 8 different versions of every story.
So mine. Hey, whatever happened to Sally Henderson from high school? Oh well, I guess there's no way to figure that out. Oh well, I guess I won't know. I'm not going to look her up online and stalk her because young people, that's all they do today is, I wonder what happened to so and so. I'll stalk them online.
Well,
How about you just don't know? How about you just don't know what happened to them? Or you ask like, hey, Mike, what happened to Sarah? Oh, cool. Okay.
Well,
That's
what about like you meet a girl in college and you get her number, and bless you, and you wrote it down on a piece of paper, and then you went home for the summer, and you lost that piece of paper, and then that's it. You're never able to contact that person ever again.
Mm-hmm.
That happened to me like 4 times in college.
It's a lot of times that to happen, Jay.
Well, I would move home for like 3 months, so like it was a long time.
Okay.
And this was before cell phones, so like you can't call them, until they get back to the city also. So it's like, it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
We went to like a
Okay.
school where everyone left for the summer.
Yeah. I'm guilty of that though. Every now and then, like I'll go down a rabbit hole, like on Facebook or Twitter or something, and just like look up like girls I used to like or went out with or hooked up with, and then I'll see them, and I'll just be like, oh my god, they look like, oh god, they're disgusting, they're fat, they're old, and meanwhile, I'm like the most disgusting person, like walking the face of the earth. Like in my head, I still think I'm like 25 at my peak, and I'll see these girls now, then I'm just like, oh my god, I went out, like I wanted her, and then like I walk by the mirror, and I'm just like, oh yeah, well I guess she could say the same thing about me.
Yeah, I've had that same exact experience.
Yeah, it is kind of like you'll like judge, like you'll look at some girl from the past, you're like, oh, she got disgusting. You'll judge some girl like, oh, she's not hot enough for me. At the same time, you'll be like, you'll look in the mirror and be like, I cannot believe anyone would sleep with me. I can't believe this is what they want.
Oh
I'll
my
be
gosh,
saying
she's
that
so
as like,
disgusting. As I get out of breath while I'm looking up her picture.
as the button bursts from my jeans.
Is it my turn or Jay's turn? Or-
Who cares?
Okay. Being a young person, you'll never experience having hanging out with friends and having all your friends be able to eat food. Not a single one of your friends will be allergic to soy, peanut, fucking like whatever, eggs, milk.
It's true.
Hey, I'm gonna make a dinner party. Everyone can eat food, right? Nope, not a single one of us. God damn it.
Yeah, I had one friend who was lactose intolerant, and even that was like crazy.
My last one was going to buy socks and not reading 30 reviews to figure out what the best fucking socks are before buying the socks.
Or you go to the store and there's just like one
Socks.
kind of socks.
Yeah,
There isn't, like, an
you
aisle
don't
of
stop
socks.
people and go, dude, what do you think of these socks? They're socks. Tell me what you think. I need to talk to 28 people who would give these socks 5 stars before I can buy them here at Target.
You notice that's like the new trend now. Like people aren't like creating or inventing new things. Everything that comes out is like something that's already existed that they're just trying to like tweak or like try to make better. Like it's like everything is like new socks or like new T-shirts or like electric toothbrush or it's just like
Yeah, but everything
Right,
is craft and 10 times as expensive. It's like,
yeah.
remember when you could buy
a
20
belt
pairs of
that
socks
you don't
for
need
$1?
loops for. Like everything is just something that exists that like you're just making stupider.
Yeah.
So I always hear on the Bill Simmons podcast a commercial for Me Undies,
Mhm.
like more comfortable underwear. I've never been like, man, I can't. These underwear are so uncomfortable. They're like spikes into my groin.
You ever look at the prices on these things? They're insane too. Like they have like a male like sock of the month club or something, and it's like $10 a pair of socks, and it's like
I don't need.
Or
I
like
don't
those
need to be
razors where they send you a razor every month.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I don't need to be on a subscription for everything. Like
Yeah.
it's just absurd, and it's like, hey Jay, did you get a new job? You look so happy. No, I'm just wearing more comfortable underwear. It's like I'm coming all the time.
I'm so happy because I spent $12 for a pair of socks and $35 for a pair of underwear. So happy about that.
holy shit, you could waste your money on fucking everything now.
yeah.
Better socks. Socks wear out. There'll be holes in them. There's no better socks. They're just fucking socks.
Like everything on Shark Tank is like, well, you've had baby food. Well, this is baby food, but better.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, they had
right.
like a cake, and it looked good, and they all said it was the best cake they ever had. I looked it up. It was like $70 per cake. And I'm like, I am not.
I think they just try to be nice sometimes in the show. There's some of the things are just like absurd.
No, they invested and they're still around. Like
I get that show so wrong. Every time I watch it, I'm like, they're gonna laugh this fucking guy out of the room, and then like all of them are like vying for it. I'm like, what am I missing here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. I often get that show wrong.
And sometimes I'm like, oh, that's really great, and they're just like, no, it's
Yeah,
not
next.
making.
Thank you, next.
Yeah, they're like, it's not making $10 million a month yet, so I'm out. And it's like, if they're making $10 million a month, they don't need you.
There was some kind of like comfortable sock on there. Actually, it was like
The Bombas.
yeah, and that one made a ridiculous amount of money. There was one of the first ones. There was a sponge. It was a happy face sponge,
Yes.
and one side was supposed to be like soft. The other side was hard, and like you put it in cold water, it'd be hard, and like it was like this amazing sponge. I was like, oh cool, I saw it in Bed Bath & Beyond. I bought it. Piece of shit of a sponge. It's the same fucking sponge you get anything else, but it's a fucking happy face, and it's like 3 times the price of a sponge. I could get 37 sponges for the price of that one fucking sponge.
That was on the counter at Bed Bath & Beyond last time I went there.
Oh, it's just stupid. Don't buy it.
It's like
just,
Scrubby Daddy or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. I bought it a second time because I was like, well, maybe the first one, like,
Got you twice. There's no
So
way
fucking
both
stupid.
of these are that bad. I'm gonna buy a third one.
why would they invest? I did buy a third, I think. I don't know. Like, I bought a couple times. I'm like, this is a fucking stupid.
Mark's
Thing.
keeping the company alive in a quest to find the good sponge.
I don't know if this is a really good sponge, but I know it's 10 times as, like, I know a normal sponge costs 12 cents, so I could go through 37 sponges before I fucking. Yeah,
Mark's
it's
got
the
a
dumbest
3-foot
thing.
pile high of Scrub Daddy sponges. There's no way they're all this shitty.
They don't lie on Shark Tank. I don't understand.
My next one is Saturday morning cartoons.
Oh yeah.
Every channel had cartoons for 6 hours straight. It was like 5-6 different channels, and they were all good. And they don't. First of all, they don't have Saturday morning cartoons anymore.
No.
And, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, you could throw another one and go like another thing they don't experience is, hey, Bri, did you see that new show? And Bri being like, yeah, I did.
Yeah, because there's 3 channels, and we all watch them.
Yeah.
Like-
And nothing against you, Bri. It was just like the shared experiences. Now it's like, I saw a great show. Oh, I've never even heard of that channel. Yeah.
Like
yeah.
TGIF. Like everybody watched TGIF.
Because
Yeah.
TGIF was so shitty, but that was the only thing on, so I guess you watched it. Like
Yeah.
but at least we all knew who Urkel was.
Yeah, I mean now they don't even put new shows on Friday night anymore.
Yeah.
I don't even know what's on a network television anymore.
I guess
Like-
you can tie that in with action figures, because almost every cartoon on Saturday morning had an action figure line.
Oh yeah,
I think that's why I played by myself a lot. I had a lot of action figures. And I just locked myself in my room and
oh yeah,
play with them for like sometimes days.
yeah,
You know what's funny about that? You say that, and like I had a lot of action figures. Brian, do you have a lot of action figures growing up?
yeah. I did.
My kids, my son would be the perfect age to have action figures, and he's like, or even like slightly past that age, no action figures. He's never had a desire to get one. I mean, we buy every fucking stupid thing he wants half the time. So like, he has no desire to get them. He doesn't play with Transformers. None of his friends have the action figures.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's a whole thing that's phased out, because I would spend incredible amounts of time with that.
I would fucking buy him 30 action figures just to get him to play by himself in his room and like just like he needs attention at all times. And not that I don't want to give my son attention, but like there's no there's none of that. My daughter will play with like Barbies and stuff. She likes playing with those things, but my son, none of it. And I don't know actually any other boy his age who plays with action figures.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah, that's goddamn weird.
Do you guys have any more?
I think I
Oh, I had one more.
Yeah.
But I phrased it wrong, so I have to figure out what I'm trying to say because I'm not understanding what I wrote.
Well, you think? You got it?
They won't. Young people won't know what it's like to not rack up $100,000 in student loan debt.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I have arcades. I mean,
Yeah.
even like bowling alleys used to have like a mini arcade.
Oh, like Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut used to have it.
Yeah.
Well, we've talked about this because they are arcades. Because I've taken my kids to arcades, but
Dave and
What's
Buster's
why-
is not an arcade.
well, it is an arcade, but whatever. The difference really is, growing up, we went to arcades to play video games. All the kids go to arcades so they can gamble. It's all about winning tickets. It has nothing to do with playing
That's
the
what I
games.
mean, though. They're not really games anymore. They're just like gambling devices. It's not like
Absolutely,
you know,
yeah.
you're not playing like Ninja Turtles or Simpsons game or
Yeah,
Double
it's
Dragon.
not even
Even the race car games.
Super off road.
Yeah.
so much worse. So much worse.
Virtual stuck behind a bus. Oh no, that was Family Guy.
And my last one is looking for a specific issue of a comic at a comic shop. Now you just go on eBay or download whatever you want. Like back when I was a kid, you were missing an issue. You had to go hunt for it. And if it wasn't at that store, you had to like find a different store or just never get that issue.
Yeah, baseball card / comic stores.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. Yeah. The
I guess trading cards too.
Yeah.
Everything was a trading card when we were kids.
that also came like
Now it's
such
just all
bullshit.
watered down. Yeah.
But it got watered down when we were growing up. So it would be like they'd be like, you can get the Topps card, then the Donruss card, then the Flair, then the Bowman, then the special edition card, and like they just like they saturated the market with bullshit.
Yeah. It definitely got out of hand.
Hey, so I know we were gonna bit done. I guess we're top 5's done.
Yeah.
I know we're almost out of time. But so the debates happened. I have SNL is probably going to mock the debates. Debates were a travesty. We don't have to go too much into the debates. But here are my 2 ideas for an SNL bit. Let me know what you guys think. I know, Brian, you didn't see the debate, but like 2 people Trump was screaming at.
I can imagine.
Yeah, you can imagine. Like, okay. So the first SNL bit I would do, I have Trump just doing debate prep to debate Biden, and the whole debate prep is Trump being like just so like. Oh no, you go on, you speak for like he's being just totally nice, and all his advisors like, no, Trump, you got to jump in here. No, just start screaming, Trump. You have to jump in. Like you find out all the stuff was like his like campaign manager idea, and Trump was never actually going to do any of this stuff. Kind of funny. I don't know.
It's not bad.
Okay. And my second one is you show Trump and Biden. Trump's like screaming at Biden. It's on a TV. As the TV pulls back, you hear the voiceover say, "Is this really the best America has to offer?" And then the camera pulls back a little more, and you see the person saying it is the Statue of Liberty, and then the Statue of Liberty lights itself on fire.
It's kind of a short skit.
It's a short skip, but they used it. Yeah. Well,
it gets the message across.
Yeah.
it gets the message across. Yeah. I also just one other point from the debate. At some point in the debate, they bring up Trump's rallies, and Biden says they were not safe. And Trump goes, the rallies were fine. No one got sick. Nothing happened at the rallies, and the rallies were fantastic. Basically what he says. And I just got so mad because all I wanted Biden to say is, you fucking killed Herman Cain. Herman Cain is dead because of your fucking rallies. How is no one talking about this? You killed a former front runner for the Republican nomination for president from 8 years ago is now dead because of you.
I don't know why they don't get more personal like that.
I don't know why they don't bring up the Herman Cain thing. It just seems like, yeah. So we have do we have any emails?
Yeah, our website is brinkofsanityshow.com, and our email is thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com. Lorenzo writes, "Hey guys, this one is from Mark. Say your wife and kids go away on a holiday for a week without you, but it is still a normal work week for you. What do you indulge yourself with, or what do you get up to?"
Okay. So am I going to pretend it's not just lots of porn?
No, if that's the answer, that's the answer. I mean, that would be my answer.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like
Well, I
not
think
a whole
you
lot.
answered already.
What? I feel like a couple of years ago, like Liz was actually away with the kids for a couple of days without me, and I didn't fucking do much. I think I worked. It was nothing exciting at all. What would you guys do if I guess you don't have if your significant others are away for a week? What do you do?
My routine doesn't change very much at all.
If you're working and not much changes, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I stayed at my girlfriend's house when she went away twice, and I just ordered takeout every night. But I mean, I do that at home anyway, so just different restaurants.
I remember that week. It was like 3 or 4 years ago. It was February. It was the middle of a really cold winter. Like they had gone to Florida with I couldn't go because of work, or I came back early because of work, whatever. I remember thinking the whole time, like, should I be doing fucking more with my time? Like I had 4 days and I did almost nothing with it besides work.
Deck writes, he sent a picture of his sister's boyfriend who has just dressed his newborn child in Knicks gear. Do you think this should be considered child abuse? Even as a Knicks fan, a part of me feels obligated to intervene. Then again, I could get him a Mets jersey and also ruin his love of two sports. Also, a question: what should Mark's forfeit be if he gets coronavirus whilst ignoring social distancing? 10 burgers? Thanks for the show and stay safe.
Somehow do Jay, I owe you burgers if I get coronavirus.
Sure, yeah. I think you
yes.
still owe me 2 burgers.
I probably do actually. Jay, can I come over and bring them?
No. Although
When are we going to get together for remember we always talk about getting together? When are we going to get together? Jay, when are we going to get together for the hangout?
you can send burgers delivered to my apartment, but
we had our Mets game a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, we shut it down. No more in-person Met games for anyone.
No.
So my son, for no reason, my son has picked the Yankees. He will refuse to root for the Mets, and the Yankees obviously are a better team.
Because he learned his lesson with basketball.
No, but he's stuck with the Knicks and he's stuck with the Jets. Though he's not like
that's why he's like, Dad, you keep sending me to losers. I'm not doing this again.
But Stevie Cohn has bought the Mets. The Mets actually might have a future. The Knicks and Jets are just like abominations.
Well, the only good part is if the Jets lose tonight, their coach is getting fired tomorrow. So
what's the score?
Oh, I don't even know.
They
the quarterback got knocked out of the game, I think. I just saw on Twitter.
17-16. Darnold's injured? Great.
All right, we gotta wrap the show up. So
Andrew writes on Facebook, is the coronavirus actually still the black cloud hanging over Jay because it's not allowing him to move out of the US to a more sane country to live?
No, I think Mark still has it.
Son of, you know what? Holy shit! I forgot it. I bought a spin bike a while back. I got into doing like Peloton workouts. My brother-in-law recommended this place that had used spin bikes. They're supposed to be like gym quality spin bikes for less money because they're used. And like, if you got a good bike, everything's fine. I got a fucking lemon. I wasted. The thing was $500. I had to get it repaired twice. I wasted $800, and now it's garbage.
You notice a trend every time you try and be cheap, it backs.
Oh my fucking god! And my wife basically is talking to me into like getting a Peloton, which is ridiculously expensive. She's like, "Well, we can't buy a used one. We can't buy a shitty one. Let's buy this one now." And I'm like, "Holy shit, this spin thing!" And she's really into it now. This spin thing is costing us a fucking fortune now. I thought we got this fucking bike, we'd save money, and now we're spending more than ever on this stuff.
Do people buy the Pelotons just because like they'll never use it if they don't spend $3,000 on it? Is that like the idea?
I guess like both of us have gotten into like it's a pretty solid workout. I don't know, like it is what it is. Like if you it's what you make of it. But like if you do it and you're into it, like it could be a really good workout. I don't know. It gets like we both really enjoy it now. We've been doing it for like 6 months, and so now this thing broke. Also, I got the thing repaired, and like the issue has nothing to do with the fact that I've been sweating all over it. But the guy's like, it's disgusting how you got this sweat all over it. Part of it's rusted. What the hell's wrong with you? And I'm like, I'm fucking paying you to repair this thing. I'm not paying you to fucking come to my house and insult me. So the black cloud is fucking like in full force, by the way, Jay. Thank you. And then the part that broke on this one I have now is supposed to be this amazing used one I got. The used one probably was like 10 years old. The chain basically broke. Not the chain, but the belt broke. Apparently, the belt for this bike cost $300 more to get a new one. And I was like, oh well, what's the fuck? And the black cloud is fucking killing me, Jay. Please take it back.
Nope. No, thank you.
Okay, Andrew writes. Last question. Did Jay wear his outdoor outfit while watching the AWOL Nation concert just to feel like he was allowed outside without restrictions?
I did not, but I gotta say I'm a fan of the live stream concerts.
So what was your live stream concert experience like, Jay? Describe for all of us what the new world of concerts is.
So I gotta say the audio and video quality were amazing. There was nobody standing in front of me holding up their cell phone filming it. So that was I asked everyone in the chat room if anybody's doing that. There is a chat room, which is kind of cool. You could.
So what did you watch it on? You watch it on your TV, computer? Where do you watch it?
I watched it on my desktop.
Okay.
I have a big enough screen.
Okay.
I made a couple drinks. They have they have like a concert view of like how they picture the concert will be, but they also have
Okay.
like a split screen view that focuses on each instrument if you want to watch it that way. They have like a view from on stage, a view from backstage. So like you have different viewing options, which I thought was cool.
So here's my question. So Bry sent us earlier in the week a concert. It was a Beastie Boys concert.
Mhm.
And like I watched a little bit. It was really good. But like, isn't like basically it was. You could sit there and watch this Beastie Boy concert. You can look up at YouTube and see a ton of live stuff. Like, isn't all this stuff free anyway? I understand this one was not free, but like, are people really going to pay for this when so much of the concert stuff is already free?
I think so because I mean it's new, it's happening now. I mean it's kind of the same thing as like why do people pay for movies when they come out when they'll be free eventually or
Yeah, fair
yeah,
point.
a band you love comes out with a new album, they go on tour. If this is the only way to see them, I gotta say I really enjoyed not having 6'5" people standing in front of me and assholes talking the whole time. Like I kind of liked it.
Totally fair. Bry, you think you'd ever pay for this?
I paid for this guy that this singer that I like did an acoustic. He played one of his albums all acoustic, and it was like $10. So I got one of those like probably like beginning of August, I think. So I've done it. Yeah, I mean it's kind of cool.
There you
Okay.
go. All right.
What bit? What? Yeah. Okay.
I mean, this was just. I mean, this wasn't a concert. Like they weren't on. It was just him in his basically living room with a camera and acoustic guitar, just doing his songs acoustically instead of regular. So it's probably a little different than what Jay did, but I mean, it was still pretty cool. I was glad I did it.
Okay. Well, you won me over. I think we're running out of time. Jay, is there any other emails? Or we
Yeah,
good
we
on
have
emails?
one last email.
Okay.
This is from Lorenzo. Here is another great moment in Brink history.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, this is what a great way to end the show. Thank you.
Figured I'd end the show on this. Which Brink fan did we meet for the first time on the last day of 2015?
Oh, we did like a New Year's show.
First 2015. I know I did a.
I wasn't on this one. I don't think I would have done a New Year's Eve show. I just think like Liz would have killed me if I did a New Year's Eve show. So
I thought I did a New Year's show, but it was when I was in Brooklyn. I didn't think I did one in Queens. 2015, I'd be in Queens.
Yeah, you were definitely in Queens.
For sure. I don't remember doing a New Year's Eve show.
The last day of. Are you sure you're reading it right, Jay?
Which Brink fan did we meet for the first time on the last day of 2015? Question. Clue number 1. It's not a super fan. It's a fan, but it's not a super fan.
A fan, but not a. Ralph. I don't think it was the last day of 2015. I don't know how that relates to it, but like Ralph would be a recent person that was on then off.
Okay, that's a good guess. I was thinking more along the lines of like a new co-host who was a fan.
A new
I have no idea. I don't know who any of our fans are.
Okay, I was already living in Long Island. Peter? No, I don't think Peter was on then.
Peter was
Again,
on
I also don't know
really
the
early.
New Year's Eve. Like New Year's, like that time, like that. I don't think we did an episode of that day.
Okay, clue number 2. Alexander Graham Bell.
Telephone. Somebody call in.
Was that the high school kid? Just
no,
because
that was. I know. I was living in the city for that. That was also terrible.
I mean, just because it says the last day of 2015, that might have been when I posted it. Doesn't mean we did the show that day.
Yeah.
Oh, good point. Good point, Jay. This is you don't post. It could have been an episode we did in October based on when Jay posts stuff. That's a solid point. So it probably was something that we did a day or two before. So that makes sense.
Dylan, the high school kid?
Who else could we have been introduced to? Not Ralph. Who else?
Dylan, the high school kid.
No, the high school kid was not on it while we were. I'm 100% positive it was not the high school kid because I think I was living in. just based on where I was living, I remember listening to the high school kid talk and being like, "Holy fuck! I can't believe we're talking to this kid," and being in my living room in the city.
It was so traumatizing. You know exactly where you were at that moment.
Yeah, it's like 9/11, Jay.
Okay. Clue number 3. First and only appearance.
First, and
I don't think we had Ralph on the show, though.
I mean, was that the one episode Steven did?
But he said it's not a super fan. Would Steven count as a super fan?
He would for a little while. I do agree with that.
Yeah.
He only called in once. I feel like he called in a little more recent. Like, I feel like it might have been 3 years ago he called in, not 5 years ago or 4 years. It actually was a while ago when he called in. I don't.
Dean from Australia?
Did Dean from Australia ever call in?
I feel like we talked to him once. I know. I had him on once when he wrote his first novel, but
I
so
don't
that wouldn't
think
be the
on
first
that
time,
one.
so that would eliminate him.
Jay, I mean, for Ride, you any memory, any idea here?
I don't know who any of our fans are, so no. I mean, I have no idea. I can't imagine I was doing a show at that time, so because I never talked to Steven.
I'm assuming 50% of our fans wrote this email.
What about Ben, who tried to get our 24-hour happy hour website off the ground?
No, no.
It could have just been somebody who, like, didn't you used to have a voicemail? Could have just been somebody who left a voicemail.
Yeah, that's true. Could have been a voicemail. Good job, Bry.
Didn't we have Frank on? Or was that the Knicks?
That was the Knicks, and that was like this year.
We didn't have him on Brink?
Well, he was on. No, he was on Brink. He was on Brink because we were talking about the Black Lives stuff with him. It was either way. Frank was this year.
On Brink?
I remember we had some kid on.
Oh, you're right. He was on the Knicks show. Maybe. I don't remember him being on Brink then. You're right. He was the Knicks show was this year. He came on for.
I wonder if it was Big Money Mike.
I don't know who Big Money Mike is.
I think that was earlier. I think that was probably like 2010. Okay, next. Mark dropped the line, do you think Kobe Bryant would listen to our show if we sent him a taco?
Oh. No. John from Random Ass Radio?
No, he's been on a bunch of times.
I think Kobe Bryant would listen to it because I was thinking of that taco thing. We did like the Taco Tuesdays. Your old co-host, he was on more than one time, but your old co-host from the public access days?
Yeah, it says it was his first and only appearance.
Oh, okay. He also was he was not good when he came on the show.
Do you think it was when we called what was it, like Foot Locker? And we talked to that person like forever. We called LA.
Yeah, that wasn't Foot Locker though. It was like someone at like I don't remember what store, Target or something like that, or
yeah, Target.
But we did talk to someone for a while.
And and we called the Target in LA.
Yeah, but could that person really be a fan of the show?
I mean, maybe they became a fan at that moment.
I mean, Lorenzo, these are tough, Lorenzo.
Clue number 5. Joining 2 bits of paper together.
Who was the one that said like the flip the paper thing with the poop?
Flip the tissue, but I think that was an email. That was like the Rosero trio was talking about flipping the tissue.
All the personalities.
And I think when we talked about that, I think we had Rob on the show.
No, but he's been on multiple shows.
Right.
I don't even actually really remember exactly what the flip the tissue was, but we don't have to go into that.
If that's even that, joining 2 bits.
Is there any more? Are there any more clues, or are we out of clues?
Yeah, that was it. Joining 2 bits of paper together. That might.
Joining 2 bits of paper.
Origami.
Okay, what's the reveal?
This was when we met Rosa, the Latino Staples employee. All right, we were right.
Wow!
That Mark.
Good job, Jay.
Thank you. That Mark, Jay, and John called to determine the cost of mailing a taco through the mail to Brink fans Rosa was a great sport and was keen to listen to the show. I don't think we heard from her ever again, and that was another great moment in Brink history.
Wow, Lorenzo, that was goddamn amazing. Jay, you were going to find out if we can call people again.
And he writes, that phone call is one of my most favorite bits of Brink.
That was pretty awesome. Yeah, that was a pretty good one, actually. Yeah, that was a pretty funny one. Jay, can you figure out how we can call people in the future?
We can call people, we just can't receive calls.
Okay, so maybe next episode we can plan another call?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right. It's been fun, and
Yeah,
we'll do it again soon.
yeah. We will skip my. I wanted to do a prediction bit, but it's running long, so we'll do that next time. I predict next time we do a bit about predictions.
I predict this show is over.
Happy trails to my love.
Goodbye, everybody.
It's all over.
Goodbye. It's time to go.
This is the end.
Say goodbye.
I'm gonna leave you.
It's the end.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Just leave me alone. Feels so good to say goodbye.
I'm sick and tired and I'm saying goodbye.
Goodbye, girl. Goodbye.